I love you, Jess.
Gary, we're on air.
Oh, thank you. Can you take that? What are you doing? Are we on? Are we? We've got a intro to shoot. Hello, everyone. We're almost ready. We haven't got the guests in yet. We've got the crew. They're singing and giggling. Student production. Stop benefits to parents, the first letter, if they don't vaccinate their children. Second letter, I can't stand Islamists. Yeah, very tolerant people right into this show as well. And the last letter tonight, before the crew's in and they start chatting, has the cost of living in Australia killed the Australian dream? Well, not mine yet. Don't know, 20 seconds. Sweet and sour. Don't go away. We'll get the guests in now. What?
Problem big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Gary Mitchell with you for another fun-filled half an hour. You want to meet the guests? They're all in. My mate Glenn's up first. Hello, sir.
Oh, mate, it's so good to be back.
Oh, I love having you on the show.
It feels like forever. No, I love being here. And I love the fact that you want me here because I have no idea what I'm going to say.
I reckon you are the only guest on this show that's actually sat in practically every seat on this panel.
Yes, I have, including yours.
Including this one most of the time as well.
So don't stay away too long, Gary.
I won't.
I miss you when you're not here.
I can't. I'm due for a trip soon, mate. So
I would love to host and you be on the panel one time.
I'm no good as a panellist. We tried that.
Oh,
actually, that's how I got the gig on this show. I was actually a panellist to start with. And yeah, anyway, hello, hon.
I've only sat here and here too, so I might be fighting you for that one.
Yeah, let's fight.
Yeah, that would be a good episode.
Pillows.
The playoff.
Right.
To see who hosts.
5 hosts, all trying to out-host each other.
I think this could be an interesting episode.
Very interesting episode. Do you want to host?
Oh no, I've never moved from this seat. I'm just letting you know.
You've never moved?
No.
Not once?
No. You always put me here.
It's a good spot though.
We're on a mission. We're on a mission. We've got to move you around. Bruce, where have you sat?
I have sat here and there, the left wing and the right wing.
That's Bruce. He's always here and there.
Is extreme left or right?
Never in the middle.
Oh, your mate Jim would probably agree with that.
Probably would. He probably would agree
Welcome
with that.
to the show, mate.
Thanks, Gary.
Have you seen the letters for tonight's episode, sir?
Had a little look, yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. Controversial.
You're first up on the first letter, and here we go. Dear panel, the Abbott government has brought in a policy that will stop benefits to parents who refuse to vaccinate their children. This is just too far, except it's got a question mark at the end of it. How dare the government tell me what is better for my kids? Why should I be deprived of the responsibility to decide what is better for my kids? This policy is nothing but blackmail, but because the government has brought it in, it seems everyone seems to think it's acceptable. If they can use these tactics for one issue, where will they stop? Why isn't this the beginning of having all our freedoms eroded and ultimately taken away? And why on earth should a government tell me what's acceptable for my children? Paula of Woden in the ACT. Bruce?
Feels like Paula from Nimbin. Look, I think Paula's been a little dramatic there. I mean, I think all of our freedoms taken away forever is a little bit dramatic. It's just,
what is she?
It's a pinprick.
Is she?
And it goes like that.
Is she?
And I think she's been a little dramatic here. And secondly, there are some things that the government has a little more knowledge than us. So you would hope that all those people have studied for decades in hospitals and, you know, doing those drop things in test tubes. You would think they would know something about this subject.
No, we just locked that up for the news.
Oh, right.
They don't actually do that.
Really? Okay. Well, that shoots me right down. I'm dead in the water there. But look, I think, I think in this case here, I mean, it's interesting. What happens is you have people will always talk about nanny states and being told what to do and governments say this and governments say that. And that's all very well. However, when something goes wrong, it's amazing it's the same people that then come back and say, what are the government going to do to fix it? What are the government going to do to help me? So I think this is one of those cases. This has got to be in the hands of the government.
It's a public health issue.
And she did misspell Tony Abbott's name too, by the way.
Correct.
Anita, are you a vaccinated or not person?
Look, I I'm probably in the middle, whereas I would like to actually do a little bit more research. I think today we're just vaccinating again, like
A little
against
research is a dangerous thing. A little learning is a
little
dangerous
bit, yeah. But do you know what? Back in the day, I mean, I think it's probably going to get my head bitten off for this, but you know,
I'll
sometimes
bite it off in a moment.
Throw your kids in the garden, let them eat dirt, let them get dirty.
You still do that?
Let their immune systems build naturally.
Yes, you still do that.
Kids died of polio too.
Yeah, but there is polio, measles, mumps, all those sort of things. You're not going to throw them in the garden
I mean,
and they're not going to build up a natural immunity.
I do think vaccinate, but I think parents should still have the choice to be able to do their own research to an extent.
Tony Abbott doesn't
To
think
an
so.
extent.
The government doesn't think so.
about sugar
Public
lumps?
health issue. What about what?
Sugar lumps?
Sugar lumps. They can give them sugar lumps instead of a vaccination. Immunise or not immunise? Where do you sit?
I am very, very in favour of vaccination. I had my flu jab last week. Make sure that I always, before I go overseas, get all my immunisations. And now that I have 2 young nephews, I'm making an attempt to catch up on the vaccinations I haven't had since high school. So I'm very, very in favour. I feel that the science is solid. I've done a lot of my own research in the area. I'm no scientist, clearly, but you've got to have an opinion on these issues. Though, while I am in favour of vaccination, I am also in favour of, you know, a person's basic right to choose what they do with their bodies.
Are we impinging on those rights by doing this?
Well, I mean, government has to set policies and we have to have laws in our society. You can't just go around murdering people because you want the freedom to do so.
Driving on the right-hand side, all
Right.
that sort of
There is something called herd immunity, and the more people that are immune to these diseases, the less likely they are to affect those more vulnerable in our community. Look, if people don't want to vaccinate their children, don't claim benefits. It's only going to affect
Simple
the
as
small
that.
amount of people. Well, there are a large
They're
amount
not
of people who
actually
claim
saying. They're not actually saying
You
you
can't.
have to vaccinate. They're
No.
saying, well, hang on. If you don't want these benefits, we're
Make
not
a
going to give you
choice.
those benefits.
Right, so
Up to you.
So people can still make a choice. It might just hurt them financially.
What do you say to someone who doesn't want to vaccinate? Do you go on a crusade and try and convince them otherwise?
Oh no, I think people need to learn for themselves. I don't think there's any amount of convincing that, you know, any amount of talking that's going to convince somebody. People need to come to these decisions on their own. And there are a number of anti-vaxxers who've come around to scientific thinking on their own terms. A lot of what it's based on is debunked science. I mean, I respect everyone's right to have a view, but you can't deny the science as it is.
All right, Glenn.
I don't respect everybody's right to have a view, Gary. I don't respect people who have views that are in opposition to mine. I don't respect people that have views that are downright ridiculous, basically. It's unbelievable. Keep your unvaccinated children away from mine, please. Keep them down at the commune where you all eat your dirt and you all have polio, and, you know, just enjoy your life together, okay? Because there's been no good argument as to why we shouldn't vaccinate. The government tells us what to do all the time.
All the time.
Why should this be any different?
All the time.
I would like to see the
Public
government getting the names and addresses of people who haven't vaccinated their kids, turning up in the middle of the night, like just full masks, SWAT gear, kicking doors down, just rushing in with needles, and just willy-nilly, just stabbing
Well,
whatever.
that's a campaign of hearts and minds, isn't it? Just stab the kids.
Yeah. If you don't vaccinate your children, we'll come and stab them for you. Authorised by the Australian Government campaign. I think that's the new campaign. I think that would get people motivated to vaccinate
All
their
right,
kids.
quick vote. Raise your hand on the panel if you vaccinate or not. Vaccinate? Vaccinate. To vaccinate. Those who are... We don't have to ask the
No,
other
that's
questions, do we?
unanimous
No,
decision.
those who didn't vaccinate are dead, or they've caused the deaths of other people.
There you go. When we come back, we're going to talk about whether people who are anti-Islamists are racists.
They're also anti-vaxxers.
When we come back, more of Sweet and Sour. Go away. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, please send it to this address right on your screen now, letters@sweetandsour.net.au. And There's the website. What's the website say?
www.sweetandsour.net.au.
Do you have to say the www. Anymore?
No,
or
I
is
just
it
want to show
automatic?
how good I am with my
You're
diction.
very good. Okay, and the other ones, what are they? Facebook.com.
Facebook.
What do we do on Facebook? Just say hello
We
to
like
everybody.
them, please.
We
Come
like
and
them.
like
Please
us.
like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter, and
Follow
also
us
we've got
on Twitter.
Instagram now.
We have Instagram now. There it is. That's Sweet and Sour TV, and you'll see all the backstage photos. Do we call it backstage?
Yeah,
something
behind
like
the
that, you
scenes
know.
pickies.
Now, for
Green room.
everyone who does send us a letter, and we discussed tonight, we're going to send you to the movies, courtesy of Natalie Cameron, who is now Natalie O'Shea, and NRC Communications. And there you go, Boy Choir starring
Dustin Hoffman.
And?
Kathy Bates.
and
Probably some other people.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in his greatest role to date.
I may have walked past in the background.
Kevin from Bayswater, just down the road in WA, writes to us, hello, Sweet and Sour, I'm not racist. My girlfriend is a beautiful Asian girl, and I'm fourth generation Aussie of Scottish stock. Last week, two of my mates called me racist because I can't stand Islamists. Now settle down and listen. I know this is a sensitive topic, but I'm not racist. If it helps progress the argument, I can't stand fundamentalist Christians either. The religious hard right of any grouping, I simply can't stand it and have utterly no respect for. I think they are just fascists appealing to the lowest common denominator and masquerading in their religiosity. So now you have it. And again, I can't stand Islamists. Now they come in every variety of human specimen, black, white, yellow, etc., and it has nothing to do with skin colour. I'm not racist. I have Muslim mates, and they're just like my Christian and atheist mates, and that is that they are good people who don't impose their beliefs on others. But these crusading Islamists need to be identified and got rid of, as they are just dangerous. ISIS, Hamas, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, all fascists. These are the intolerant people I hate with all my soul. So why am I racist, and why does this polarise people so much and make them deaf to all arguments, please? As we said, Kevin of Bayswater, straight to you, Brucey.
Well, I think Kevin's made a good effort here to try and wrap some of this very sensitive, delicate subject up, and I guess it's one that no one really has an answer for. I think the first thing is Islam is not a religion. Is a religion, and therefore he's not a racist. He's a religionist.
Religionist.
I did like his word, religiology. Was that the one? That was a good one too.
Religiosity.
But I think Kev from Bayswater has done a good job sort of mapping something out here. And look, he's been tagged a racist by two of his mates, but let's face it, I think the word racist is sometimes overused. We've talked a few overused words today. And sometimes it is thrown at people when they struggle to keep a debate rolling. They'll just throw that little tag in there. So I feel a bit sorry for Kev there. But look, I have got one piece of advice. Dump your two mates and just hang out with your beautiful Asian girlfriend.
All right, Anita, what do you say
I
here?
agree. I think he's a little bit too sensitive to it, and he just needs to just shut his mouth and not really talk. Because he doesn't
Shut
really
up.
know what he's talking
We're
about. He's
telling you to
just
shut
jumping
up.
all over the place, and it's just, I don't like it.
You don't like him? Okay, there's a big issue there.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, really. He doesn't understand himself. It's just a muddle. It's a big mess.
Is it? I don't know.
He's trying.
He's trying, but
He's trying.
failing.
He uses the term Islamist. Is that an
No.
acceptable term, or is that?
Followers of Islam would
Is
be
that-
more appropriate, but I think the whole
But
problem...
Muslims are followers of Islam. That's
That's
the
right.
weird thing.
But we're not talking about all. I think he's trying
It's
to.
in his
look,
terminology. That's his
I'm
issue.
probably with
He's
Anita in
making
much
up.
respect. He's probably trying to identify those extremists in the
religion,
Islamic faith.
Which is completely separate.
Um,
By all
Interesting.
means, have an issue with an organisation, don't have an issue with a religion. I mean,
Glenn?
Oh, look, I'm with Bruce here. I think it's a great effort, isn't it? He's got the crayons out, and he's had a fair old crack at words. And he's taken a few
Religiosity.
words. He's taken a few words, he's put them next to other words, and he's looked at that and he's thought, look, I can't read it. I'm going to have to get someone with a brain to read this for me. Yeah, but it's nice that someone's taken him under their wing and typed it all out for him and sent it in, because it's the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard in my life. And basically because as soon as you say I don't like a group, whether it's religion, race, whether anything, as soon as you say I don't like a group, you sound like a tool.
Correct.
Why? Because you're judging an entire group by the name of the group.
I don't like a group. Their name is Nirvana. I've never liked Nirvana. Do you?
Well, see, and that's what makes
not
you
around anymore,
a
so
Nirvana.
That's why I don't like them. They left without saying goodbye. How rude.
Every group has a
Extenuating
few
circumstances.
dickheads in it
One
that spoil
died.
it for the rest of the people that aren't dickheads, basically, right? And so that's what he's talking about here. Muslim people celebrate I don't know, he doesn't know.
No, he doesn't.
Candice, wrap it up.
There are wonderful people and horrible people in all denominations of life, and I think
And all Bayswater.
No, certainly not. I
We
think
have the Mayor of Bayswater who comes on this show.
Basson
too.
Dean does.
We have the Mayor of Bayswater as
Oh,
well.
we do,
Oh,
we do.
We have lots of
G'day,
mayors that
Sean.
come on this show.
What they used to be.
Yeah, there are horrible people and good people in all walks of life, and take people at their own face value. Hate on an organisation by all means who are grouped by an ideology, but you can't hate on a religion. There are just too many people, and you can't group them all together. It's just the way it is.
How many of you have got Islamic mates?
I don't know, because I don't ask them, and I don't care.
But it's
Good
like
point
saying
of view.
I hate old people or I hate TV presenters.
You were telling me that about yourself earlier.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly.
TV presenters especially.
Yeah, I hate people with erectile dysfunction. I mean, it's just, you can't just hate a group blanketly like that. Are you okay?
When we come back, we're going to be talking about how expensive it's become to get a house in Australia. Don't go away, more of Sweet and Sour. See you soon.
Sometimes it's hard to come back.
Sour is nice at times, but nothing beats a good homemade moussaka.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Here we go. Last letter of the evening. Hi, Mitch and panellists. My husband and I have recently decided to
Start looking at purchasing
start
our
looking at
first
purchasing.
home.
I'm not good with modern technology. Start purchasing it, our first home. For a laugh, we decided to see what we could buy in other countries. Well, it turns out that our deposit for a 4x2 home with no backyard in an outer suburb of Sydney could actually buy a home outright in several other countries. How the hell are people meant to have any chance of really setting themselves up when the cost of living and nesting has become so utterly overinflated in Australia? My husband and I love this country, yet we're now seriously considering moving abroad and away from our families. Has the cost of living in Australia killed the Australian dream? It certainly seems like the old ideal of the quarter-acre block with the 4x2 house is a thing of the past. Rebecca of Liverpool, New South Wales. Do you know what? It was never a 4x2. It was a 3x1 when I was a kid. So the idea keeps going. Candice?
Yeah, I think people's expectations have increased over time along with the house prices. Everybody wants this quarter-acre block. Hey, there aren't enough quarter acres in the metropolitan area in nice locations next to schools with water and electricity connected for everybody. Also, I think she's forgetting the huge 90s interest rate hikes. Everybody's been struggling for decades. It's not just you. And you know what? My partner and I, we managed to buy a house. We both worked 2 jobs. It's not
you're
easy.
young. It's not easy, but it's
It's
never
not
been
easy.
easy.
It's not supposed to be easy.
It's never been easy.
So, you know what? If you really feel like you want to move overseas, cop the bad wages along with it. You know, everything's
Hang on.
relative.
Why would you want to move overseas? What? Because you're going to save some money. You'd abandon your family to go
Yeah,
and
it's
live
only
overseas
money, mate.
because...
It's only money.
No, I don't get that. Maybe I'm wrong. Where would you like to live, sir?
Look, I think there's a lot of properties that these people could afford. There's a bunch of anti-vaxxers living in Woden. I'm pretty sure property values are rather cheap around that area of the town. Why do we all have to live in big cities? I think that's the thing. It's if you want to feel connected to a big city and you want to live near a big city, then you just have to suck it up. These days, there's no quarter acres anymore. There's barely any backyards, and you want to find yourself a place where you can feel comfortable. If you want that, I'm guessing you're going to have to move to the country.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Out to Woden. It's
you
lovely
just-
out there.
you
There's
just
lots
adjust.
of like people hobbling around with bits falling off them, and
We had Peter Katzenbanis.
You've been the stunning people
the
in town.
MLA. He's a good lad, and he said he lives out in the Whitfords area near the beach.
Hardly out there. I grew
Well-
up way further
Well, guess
than
what?
that.
He said, no, my kids still ride their bike. They come home from school and they ride their bike on the streets. It's all safe, and we have a quarter-acre block. It's you city dwellers that are, wanting to live there, who have to compromise and live in apartments, etc. If you want that, you don't have to go too far.
No, well, if you don't have to work in the city, then it's a piece of cake to live in
That's
Whitfords
right.
or
If-
Belia or
if
like
you don't have to go into
anywhere
the
that's
city.
a mile away where you're going to spend 2 hours getting to work and 2 hours getting home if you're going to get on the freeways.
Lifestyle choices. It's expensive now, though. It's expensive.
Very.
Right, but it's always been expensive.
That's right. This is not a new
It's all
thing.
relative, and we're all demanding more and more and more. Everybody wants their theaterette room as well now.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you?
I'd want one. Anita, what do you want?
Oh, I think, look, there's a lot of choice, especially now where, yes, if you are wanting to be closer to the city, you are going to have to pay that little bit more. But if you move out, you can get a beautiful 4x2 home, which is quite reasonable, and you can get what you want. And I think by moving overseas anyway, it's the European economy, if you could move into Europe anyway, is pretty bad. So you're going to be struggling anyway. So it works
But you could
pretty
go
much.
to Ireland and get a mansion or Greece. Go to
No,
Greece
but
and
there's
buy an
no
island.
work.
And they're
Greece,
gonna get cheaper.
you can't make money in Greece. Nobody's got
Wages.
jobs. Wages are bad.
Yeah.
We've got it good here in Australia, and I just think we're being
And
spoiled little brats.
that is the difference as well. Our lifestyle is so rich that the demand is great to live here. Everybody wants to flock into Australia to live here, which is why we pay premiums on our properties, and elsewhere it's so cheap. That's how I see it. It's so good, everybody wants to be here. Bruce?
Well, Gary, strangely today I did see an article by an international bank talking about property and valuations in Australia. And what they're saying is that in fact in about 2 years' time, the supply of properties will start to level out with demand, which will actually not soften prices but stabilise them. So it's not as if, it appears that it's not as if house prices are going to keep just rising forever. So we have built a lot of houses in the last 2 or 3 years. Look, I thought Rebecca sort of went from one extreme to the other here. She was going to just have a laugh with her husband. Next thing she's moving overseas.
Why would you do
That was
that?
a big leap, wasn't it?
Big leap.
And just quickly, Tasmania, is that overseas? It's cheap down there.
It's
Very
over
cheap in
it's over
Tassie at
us
the moment
seas.
as well.
Over straight. Over straight.
And I saw that Tassie's economy was on the decline. It was the least profitable of
Swings and roundabouts, bud.
all our states.
It's only till they find some iron.
No vaccinators.
Of course it is, and that's all it is, and that's when the demand then picks up.
No
It is-
vaccinators.
If
down
you could live anywhere else other than Australia, where might you go?
Kia ora, New Zealand.
Kia ora?
That's why they say hello.
Kia ora?
Kia ora.
Would you? You'd go to New Zealand?
Totally. Got family there.
Makes it easy.
easy.
Again, the consideration is
Italy.
family.
Yeah, of course
You go
it
to more family. Where would you go?
Italy, because of family.
Italy because of family. Where would you go?
Probably going to live in France.
Because of
'Cause
family?
Not because of family. 'Cause
French
it's
women.
very reasonable.
hairy
I like driving on the
They're
other side of the
hairy.
road.
They're what?
Yeah,
Because they're hairy. The women.
No, I'm just joking.
No, you just read nice things about the place. So, being there as a tourist, I reckon it'd be nice to live there.
Hello, I'm here
6
because I read
months.
some nice things about the place.
That's what their brochures for.
Could you show me them, please? Because I can't find
I
them.
doubt
They'll
they're
stop.
going to be bad
They'll stop
brochures.
printing brochures.
Glenn? Not Australia. Where would you like to live if not?
Oh, look, it'd be great to live at the North Pole, wouldn't it?
Bit chilly.
Think? Yeah, but you'd
warm
be in
there,
Santa's
don't you?
workshop. You'd be, you
Bit
know,
melty.
I'd be happy to get, a quarter acre just around the corner from where the elves are, making their tools, playing with their wood and whatnot.
You could play. Have you ever played Santa?
Yes.
What do you mean
Have you
play
got some practice
Santa?
up?
What do you mean play Santa?
I'm sorry. We've got to decide who gets the limited edition pair of sunglasses, courtesy of Alon Treves and Aussie Opticals. Which, ladies, who do you like?
Let's give it to the last letter. Obviously, they need to save a bit of dosh, and maybe we can give them a
Last
pair of
letter?
sunglasses.
Last letter? Look, does it save us a bit of dosh? We have to post it to Liverpool and New South Wales,
Yeah,
Rebecca.
what are you gonna
But
do?
do you like this one?
I do like it.
Why?
Because it's not.
Because that's what I used to say when I didn't have an answer and I was
Just
4.
because.
Because. Bruce?
I'll go with a third letter as well, just because, no reason.
Stir it up a bit for us, Glenn.
I think Rebecca needs to hide her embarrassment and shame. And I think she needs a pair of sunglasses to even be seen out in public ever again. Maybe they should be rose-coloured glasses, and then she could look at all properties and think they're affordable.
She could. We've got to go.
Thank you.
What are you doing? What's your next show coming up? Have you-
Well, we're doing Improv Club about the place, you know.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Always on improv.
improvising away.
And if people want to look you up,
justimprovise.com.au.
and if they want to listen to you, how many? You're on everything.
I am. I'm on Radio 6PR and watoday.com.au. Please keep me in a job. That'd be great.
Okay.
Cheers.
You're going to move Korea. Where do we learn dancing from you?
I'm nowhere.
Yes, you are.
Monday nights, Fremantle, Severino's.
That's so close.
Is that where you're going to do dancing straight after this?
They do the class.
Severino's.
Gizomba.
Gizomba. Where do we find Bruce? Where do we get headhunted by Bruce?
Well, you go market your talent at westbridge.com.au.
There you go. Thank all of our wonderful panellists. Thank our terrific crew, and thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. And it says end of segment right there too.